Wreck-It Ralph as fast as you can. You know he can do it with his colossal hands.
Actually, I don't remember hearing that song at all in this movie.
Nope. It wasn't Wreck-It Ralph Wrecks the Internet.
That's it. This movie was terrible.
Where's the
Review's over.
Where's the continuity? Come on.
Welcome to Drawing Conclusions. I'm Jessica.
I'm Josh.
And today we are reviewing Ralph Breaks the Internet, the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph.
Came out in 2012.
Yes, Disney animated film. So Josh, tell me, what did you think of Ralph Breaks the Internet?
Kind of mixed feelings about this. Mixed in that it wasn't like the first movie, Wreck-It Ralph, and mixed that it wasn't like the first movie, Wreck-It Ralph. Let me explain. I love the first movie, all the nods to video games, most of which I grew up playing as a teenager and even younger than that when video games first arrived. And I loved all the jokes and the humor, and just all that stuff was really relatable to me because it's all stuff I grew up loving and still love. This movie was not like that. It was not like the comedy that I was kind of hoping for with I thought maybe they followed up like that, but they didn't. And that's not a bad thing. What they did instead was do something that has a lot more depth to it. I mean, not the first movie was shallow or anything, but this one was a deeper film than that one. And I like that. I like that I was surprised.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the overall themes of this movie, which we touch on more in our Patreon podcast, go check that out. It's kind of the overall theme of this movie. Like, I mean, they talk about friendship and stuff, but the way I interpret it was like parenthood, parenting. Like Ralph was Vanellope's, father figure, and there was several other characters kind of going through like similar experiences, like Felix and Calhoun.
It's kind of spoilery. Just saying. Go ahead.
I'm talking themes, not specifics. So, sorry if that's a spoilery for some people, but I won't go into any more of it than that. But that was some of the stuff I liked about this movie, was that it was more mature subject matter.
Right. But that same, so you're saying, they didn't we didn't see that whole video game arcade world very much in this sequel, because it really was focused on the internet. But that same kind of imagination and creativity that they brought to what would it be like if you were a character inside a video game, they brought that same thing to what would it be like if you went inside the internet. Right? Yes. Like if there were some way that you could actually be an existing being, being a
avatar of some sort.
Avatar, right? Of somebody, a character in a game. How would that live out on the internet? And so I thought that was really fun, and I really liked seeing what they did with that.
Yes,
it was extremely creative. It was very visually interesting. The whole movie, I thought. I
mean, the visual representation of what the internet might look like, and how they handled it, just for things like Twitter, Facebook, I mean, just anything you can think of, it was probably in there somewhere. I mean, there were so many things to look at when they're inside the internet. Right,
and that's actually, I feel like I could, I would have to pause every frame of the movie,
scene, pause it.
Really, to get the full scope of everything that they did in that movie, because there's way too much to see, and it goes way too fast for you to catch everything, certainly in the first time around.
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of the visuals are very big, vast, and just there's crammed full of information and just stuff to look at.
But that was part of what was so great about the way that they expressed the internet, was how vast it was.
Yes.
And later in the movie, you kind of see the dead, unused parts of the internet, like that people
the dark web or whatever.
Well, no, not the dark web. They show that, but I'm talking about later. When Ralph kind of falls down the bottom, it's you see, sorry, that's kind of spoilery too, but you see the way that they visually represent things that are still around, because nothing on the internet really ever dies, right?
Right, it's there somewhere.
But nobody uses them. It's the old stuff that was in the beginning, or even maybe 10 years ago.
I know. MySpace, is that you?
So I thought that's the whole thing about how they represent it was really fun. And I agree that the themes are more mature, which I think reflects the evolution of, I think that is necessary to have the characters evolve in this movie.
Right, you don't want it to be static and they're just doing the same old thing.
Right.
And no one's growing up or moving forward or moving on or anything like that.
Right.
Or changing.
Well,
it's nice.
And when we talk about mature themes, we're talking about Disney family friendly mature themes, not like
they go to that part of the internet.
Not like TV mature, it's not that kind of mature theme.
No.
But it is a little bit of a longer movie.
Yeah, just under 2 hours.
Yeah, and so if you have kids that are real fidgety, you might want to think about whether or not it's worthwhile to take them to the movie theater to see this, or if you want to wait till it's on streaming or Blu-ray or whatever, digital. So, what else did you like about this movie? Anything else? Any favorite
moments?
Yeah.
I did like the Disney princess thing. It was like, it just kind of felt like a big sorority party. It was really funny. They're like all lounging around in their princess palace thing. There were several funny things in this movie. I know I said earlier, like, it wasn't as funny as the other one. That doesn't mean it was like devoid of humor. There were still very funny moments in it.
Right.
But that one was funny. They did kind of have some fun with those Disney characters.
Right.
And it was very good.
But this one, I felt like was a lot more poignant than the first Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes.
A lot more emotional, and that doesn't mean that I was blubbering like a baby, but it was emotional.
Yeah.
And poignant, and even just despite the people chattering behind me and saying really stupid things at poignant moments, it didn't completely ruin it for me. So that was good.
She needs to wash her hair.
Anything you didn't like about this movie?
I can't think of anything. I guess if I wanted to sit down and nitpick, sure, I could find something, but what's the point?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I'll probably keep on enjoying it. So I don't think so. Not that it was a flawless film, and it was just, life-changing or anything like that.
Right.
But it wasn't supposed to be. This was something you're supposed to enjoy.
Right.
And I did.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I would recommend it. But towards the end of the movie, I had this, I was like, hey, wait. Wah, wah, wah. And I kind of, came up with, a continuity problem for me between the first movie and the second movie in terms of the rules of the world and what would happen.
Right.
And so, without giving anything away...
Yeah.
But again, if you want to know what I'm talking about, check out the podcast on Patreon. But yeah, that's the only thing really that bothered me about the movie. Otherwise, I thought it was really good. I have nothing negative to say about it. For me, this was a solid 4 out of 5. How about for you?
I would give this definitely 4 out of 5 as well. 4 Pac-Men. Pac-Man. Or 4 chitters from Twitters, 4 tweets, whatever. Anyway, 4 something out of 5 somethings. It was
4 internet-related things out of 5 internet.
4 memes things. Out of 5 memes. It was a good show.
Yeah,
very good show. Would recommend it. Good for the whole family.
Yeah, I think if you enjoyed the first one, you'll definitely enjoy this one.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Disney films or, animation in general, I think you'll enjoy it. And I think most of your family will enjoy it. I think about our kids, some of them are a little more fidgety and maybe would have a hard time sitting still in the theater watching this, but we could definitely watch this at home with them and they would enjoy it.
Yeah, you go in the room, come back in. It's still on? It's not that long, I kid.
I don't think that would happen.
No, it wouldn't. They'd be glued. Anyway.
Yeah. So that's it. I enjoy your 8-bit drawing here of Ralph.
Thank you.
Breaking the internet, especially that hard punch to Google. Yeah. Take that, Google.
Suck it, Google. YouTube Facebook.
Just kidding. We love Google. If you're listening, Google, we love you.
I know.
Don't kill us, Google overlords. Don't come and destroy our YouTube channel.
Don't sell my data. Anyways.
Yeah,
I had a good time drawing this. It's a lot of fun. I really like the character of Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph. And this was done with pastel pencils on pastel paper.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thanks.
So thanks for joining us for this review. Don't forget to like.
Don't forget to share.
And comment.
And subscribe.
Yeah, and as we've mentioned a few times, check us out on Patreon.
Yep, that helps support the channel.
And also check out the video description for information on where you can get Josh's merchandise, his artwork, and right now there might be a little special code for there there for you to use to get a discount.
Might there be?
Yeah, check it out. Thanks.